It is the Wednesday edition of Litter Media Live with Mike Smith, the icon. I'm Dan Ramey, the nobody. And
he
welcome
is
to the program.
Everything. He's everything to me.
We had that discussion, didn't we, about you not singing? And you did it
No,
anyway.
you said I was not allowed to. You didn't say I couldn't. I can rebel, you know. It's that thing called free will God gave us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not fearing the retribution that God gives me from you. So banish you from the garden.
Lord?
Can I have some temporary power here?
If Mike doesn't reappear after a break here, you might see that you can see the smoldering.
Just a cinder. Oh, yeah. Return to cinder. Another song, yes.
Different kind of cinder.
Aaron had a song on his mind this morning. He said, I have no idea where this came from. I haven't even heard this song this morning.
Really? I'm sure
it's catching, yeah.
It's probably something you've hummed and through his subconscious it came back to life. So, hi, welcome to the program. This is normally where we do news and sports and other goofiness, I guess, in that respect. I have not planned a radio bit for today, so we need to...
I gave up on that weeks ago.
I know.
You've been throwing in I threw in the towel, he throws in the material.
He just walked out the door. You know, there comes a point where even if you repeat something again, it's like, it's old news. And it just walks in. He's off into the sunset in his mind. All right, let's jump in and take a look at what's happening with new... thank you. The age of technology, we now have signage that's held up to us.
Yeah.
Used to, you pull out this big old poster board, and you take his magic marker and write down what you, and then you hold it up like that. He used his cell phone there a second ago, so we know what is being our first commercial matter. We'll share with you, thanks to the cue there. But we want to talk about weather first and see how things are playing out for today.
Yes, another warm day in store for us with sunshine and a high in the mid-80s. Tomorrow, it just kind of a gradual cool down. 80 tomorrow, rain possibly moving in late in the day tomorrow or tomorrow evening and into the overnight and then Friday morning. Looks like no rain for Friday night. That's the good thing. The rain, they moved it up for Thursday night.
Self-serving
I'm
once
thinking
again.
of you guys.
Self-serving once again.
I'm thinking of you guys.
You're thinking if they also don't have room for us in the press box for radio.
No. You asked my wife. When I heard that forecast, I thought, well, our guys won't get wet. So I was thinking of it. But this weekend, the daytime high will be what our nighttime low has been the last few days.
Nice.
50s.
Crispy.
So it'll feel like fall.
And I have to think that will help the colors start to pop out even more.
I would say, yes.
On the trees and everything.
But we needed some I hope we do get some rain tomorrow. We need it.
I still have tomatoes on my tomato plants.
Is that right?
They're ripening like crazy, but I have a bunch of green tomatoes that are still growing. And this comes from, I hadn't grown tomatoes for, 10, 11 years, thereabouts. And it's just amazing this year how they have just taken off.
They said, hey, don't forget us.
Well, Missy has even said to me at some point in time, are you going to eat some of these tomatoes? I'm getting tired of being the one eating them all. So,
are they cherry tomatoes or bigger tomatoes?
They're big tomatoes.
Oh, okay.
I picked one the other day that's like that big. I mean, it looked like a small pumpkin.
If you see him in a wagon on the road down in Pike County, buy some tomatoes for him.
Or if I set a table out in front of my yard with tomatoes, 5 cents.
Emil, you can sell lemonade, you sell the tomatoes. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, coming up in just a moment to look at what's happening with news. But first, this from Scioto Valley Dumpsters.
He's excited about those tomatoes.
I could probably fill a dumpster of tomatoes from Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Give them a call at 740-253-8389. If you have need for a dumpster at your residence or your commercial property, they can take care of that for you. 740-253-8389. Tell Carl that Dan and Mike sent you. News is next.
Dixie Chopper. Speed when you need it. Visit your local Dixie Chopper dealer today or visit dixiechopper.com.
At Rathkamp Financial, we believe in building client relationships for the long term, guiding you through the stages of wealth with a plan and bringing you closer to reaching your financial dreams. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust with our customized investment solutions.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
And it's time for news. You can find news on our website, littermedia.com, and we sprinkle some things on our social media as well. So what are we looking at to start off with?
Yeah, enforcement of Ohio's new distracted driving law sees ticketing enforcement beginning tomorrow. Now, we put this story up in March when it first passed the legislature, but beginning in April, that was April 1st, the law enforcement, basically, if they were stopping you for distracted driving, you were only getting a warning. Well, beginning tomorrow, you'll get a ticket, and that could equal a $150 fine and 2 points on your driving license.
So enforcement takes place tomorrow.
Correct. It was just warnings from April 1st up until the end of today. Mm-hmm. So there's more details about that on our website, story@littermedia.com. Ohio's final county fair of 2023 is next week in Lancaster. You, yesterday, had a chance to talk with Connie Smith, no relation, from the Fairfield County Fair, about the upcoming event.
Yeah, and Connie's working in the Fairfield County OSU Extension office there as well. And she had a lot of detailed information about this fair. They've got a brand new website. You can check that out. And we've got links to that, I believe, in the story as well. And that gives you the schedule of events, which they have items starting as early as Saturday this week, running right through the 14th of October, including, and this one sparked my interest, the Donkey Dash. This has got to be, it's only like, 15 minutes or something like that? And it's going to take them 15 minutes to make some of them move, I think.
Yeah.
Stubborn donkeys.
I think in a donkey basketball game one time, I was on one of those kind of donkeys that just didn't want to.
I've never ridden. I've done the announcing part for years, and it's absolutely hilarious and fun. But Jeff Sheets, we talked about not long ago. Jeff Sheets is my former algebra teacher, but he was also superintendent at Tays Valley, superintendent now at Westfall. One of the years I was doing play-by-play of the event for the Tays Valley Young Farmers Association and their donkey basketball, he was the super-duper pooper-scooper driver.
Yeah, right.
And I got to go around and scoop up. He was none too happy about doing that, though.
I won't say anything about it, Jeff. I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Well, a lot of times when he's going around, you usually have a shovel. So,
Maybe
because he's doing constructive work.
Maybe he should go to work for some politicians. He can scoop up their stuff. But yeah, check that interview out. The fair runs this weekend through the 14th. Let's see, Dying United. I think we touched on this, that it was coming, but we're in the month of October now. That's a function of United Way of Ross County. Various eateries in Chillicothe are giving a percentage of their proceeds to United Way of Ross County on the designated day that they host. Now, for the remainder of this week, including today, it's at New System Bakery. Hook's Pizza on the Hill will be Friday, and Chillicothe Antique Emporium this Saturday. As you can see on the graph, and you can, of course, check with United Way, there are more restaurants that will be hosting in the month of October. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine has announced several enhancements to the state's free, safer Ohio school tip line. That'll make it easier for Ohioans to report school safety concerns. In addition to calling and texting the tip line, Ohioans anywhere in the state can now report school safety information through a new smartphone app and online web form. The downtown Circleville annual Halloween Fun Night will be held Tuesday, October the 24th from 5 to 6 p.m. This is put on by Uptown Circleville. Local businesses can join in by participating in this fun event for kids. There's also a costume contest that evening at the Pickaway County Banking Center parking lot on South Court Street. That starts at 6:15.
Much for Mike is Frankenstein.
Yes, sir. That's for me. County Fair isn't the only time you can experience demolition derbies in Southern Ohio. The Scioto County Fairgrounds will have Demo Derby this Saturday for the best show of the year in the Tri-State. That gets underway at 5 p.m. Admission is $15. And Hopewell Culture National Historical Park is seeking applicants for seasonal or temporary park rangers for the summer of 2024. Job postings go live on Monday, October the 9th. You can create a USA Jobs account and build your resume, or call Hopewell Culture National Historical Park for more information. Road report today, we take you to Pickaway County. State Route 316 in both directions between 56 and 104 is closed through this Friday, and that is for culvert replacement. The detour is 316 to 56 to 104. And those are your topics for today.
It's my old stomping grounds.
Yes, sir.
316
Skunk Holler?
56 and 104, yeah.
Is it hollow or holler?
Well, it would. I think there was a sign that said hollow, but it's holler.
Nobody said hollow.
Everybody said holler. So I think it's still funny how every once in a while we'll bump into somebody from the Pickaway County area, and I'll ask them, do you know where Skunk Holler is? Oh, yeah, right there, 316, 104. That's my old stomping grounds.
Did you ever see any skunks in Skunk Holler?
Yeah. There used to be, and this is my reasoning for why they called it Skunk Holler. Every road that goes out, so 104 and 316, on its approach to the intersection has a curve. And you could always find a dead skunk on one of those curves. And so it had to be the reason that they called it Skunk Holler. I don't know.
You'd think those skunks would hang out somewhere else if it was that deadly.
Well, roadkill doesn't determine where it wants to be when it gets killed.
I guess. Okay.
It doesn't become roadkill
Didn't
until
take
it's
the
roadkill.
hint, right.
All right, coming up in just a moment, a look at sports for you. But first, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. They are certainly on target for your needs, whether it be heating or cooling. And, of course, this is that time of the year where you have the AC going during the daytime and the heater going on at night. And if you have issues with firing that up, give them a call. They can take care of you. Click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, and we'll take you right to Accurate's website for accurate heating, cooling, and plumbing.
If you can't give true love to me, I'll understand. Just
It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
And today is the day where you can meet with the managers of McDonald's in Circleville, in Greenfield, Waverly, and the 4 locations here in Chillicothe. And they're always looking for crew members, and this is where you can walk in, do an open interview right then and there from 2 until 5 every Wednesday at those 7 area McDonald's locations. McDonald's.
I'm loving it.
We're loving sports. What do you have for us?
The Game of the Week highlights of last week's Bloom Carroll at Logan Elm game now up on Litter Media YouTube. You can catch those highlights along with all of the extras that went up on screen earlier this week.
And here's a little bit of that for you right now. This is running down the field after an interception, I believe. That set Bloom Carroll up into position for a go-ahead touchdown. And, of course, they took a 14-0 lead, and the rest is history, so to speak. 35-6 the final there. But great camera work by our newest member of Litter Media. That is Aaron Glandon. He not only shot the video, but he mixed the video as well.
Good man. Good man.
Well done.
That's why he makes the big bucks. Now, this Friday's Litter Media Game of the Week is Zane Trace at Unioto. Our Facebook Live preview show for that is at noon tomorrow. We'll hear from both coaches, our Athlete of the Week, compliments of Neil Coleman Insurance and Wyandotte Insurance. So all that coming up at noon tomorrow. And then we always repeat that on the Litter Media Radio prior to our pregame show at 6:50. Speaking of high school football, the OHSAA computer rankings, as they always do, they came out 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. You can see the full rundown of everybody in each division from around the state. As far as the local teams, there are more than a dozen that are still within the top 16, where you have to be at the end of the regular season to get to the postseason. My apologies, I forgot to mention this yesterday. Aaron had it loaded for us, and I somehow skipped completely over it. Jackson senior Cade Wolford has committed to Kent State University to play college football for the Golden Flashes. And we've seen this young man a number of times in the last couple of years, and he is an outstanding football player.
And he's heading to the Golden Flashes, and he has been involved with the Golden Arches because he is one of our McDonald's players of the game as well.
Yeah. So, Cade, congratulations on that. We wish you the best in the future. We haven't got a chance to see him this year. Jackson leads the FAC, maybe somewhere down in the postseason trail. The Westfall Lady Mustangs are headed back to the state golf tournament for the 6th time in school history, and most of those in the past decade. They won the Division II District Championship at the Chillicothe Jaycees course yesterday. Circleville was runner-up, but they do not qualify because in the Southeast District they only take one team and one individual golfer on a non-qualifying team. That individual is Manchester's Taylor Ralston, as she was the match medalist, actually, with a 70. But congratulations to all of the area golfers on a fine season. In a related note, the season closed for FAC Boys Champ Chillicothe in D1 sectional action at Denison yesterday. No qualifiers for the district tournament. Chillicothe's highest placement was Jackson Oyer in 35th place with an 84. Caden Cook shot an 86. D1 golf sectional at Darby Creek. Bloom Carroll and Tays Valley also failed to advance to the district. The highest Bloom Carroll finish was 18th place, Karsten Diebold with a 77, and 19th place, Carter Price with a 78. Tays Valley's James Bush was 23rd with an 81. The boys' D2 district is today. We'll have those results up later tonight when they become active. Turning to tennis, Minford's Miranda Johnson repeated as the SOC Singles Player of the Year. She won that honor last year, taking the singles championship in the SOC tournament, and that makes her obviously the Player of the Year, and she repeated that honor yesterday.
Back to back.
Yes, sir. Miami Trace Panthers assured themselves a repeat as Frontier Athletic Conference volleyball champs last night with a 3-set sweep of Jackson, 25-21, 20, and 18. Addison Butts led the Panthers with 16 kills, and Lauren Ferens added 6. Kylie Yeasel dished out 27 assists, and Sydney Carter had 16 digs. Now, the Panthers have one more conference match, but 2 up on Chillicothe with only 1 play. Gives them the repeat as the champions. Unioto fought off a tough effort by Southeastern last night in an upset bid. You might remember Southeastern handed Unioto their only conference loss of the season in a 3-set sweep earlier this year. Looked like it was going to go 5 sets last night, but Unioto rallied from a 21-15 deficit and staved off 3 match points in the 4th set to win it 3-1. And Jackson, a 3-0 winner over Miami Trace, gave them the outright FAC Girls Soccer Championship. I think I saw that's the first time in several years at least that they have accomplished that feat. So congratulations to those champions as they keep rolling in this time of year.
And Chillicothe will host Jackson tomorrow night in girls soccer.
Yeah.
I think it's a 5 o'clock.
So that's obviously a tune-up. By the way, the volleyball and soccer tournament pairings come out this Sunday. And as we've done for years, we'll have all that information up for you on littermedia.com, probably somewhere 3:30 or 4 o'clock this Sunday.
All right. Litter Media Wayback Machine is dialed up for where?
1927, and it has nothing to do with Babe Ruth.
Okay. For those of you wondering why 1927 and Babe Ruth.
That's the year he had 60 home runs.
There you go. So just wanting to give people the idea of what that had to do with. There we go. That's just ahead, right after these words from our sponsors.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
You asked, we delivered. New Mike's Hard Lemonade Zero Sugar. Zero sugar. Amazing taste. Years in the making. Now that's a drink worthy of the name Mike.
This date in history.
1927. Sculpting begins on the face of Mount Rushmore in the Black Hills National Forest in South Dakota. It would be another 12 years for the granite images of 4 of America's most revered presidents, Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, and Teddy Roosevelt, to be completed. The monument was the brainchild of a South Dakota historian named Doane Robinson, who was looking for a way to attract more tourists to his state. He hired sculptor Goodson Bolgram to carve the faces in the mountain. Now, the Lakota Sioux people, who consider the Black Hills to be sacred ground, strongly opposed the project. The mountain was previously part of the Great Sioux Reservation before being taken away from them by the United States government.
Have you ever seen it in person?
No, I have not.
Nor have I. I've been to North Dakota, but not South Dakota.
I saw it on North by Northwest many times. See, there's Cary Grant climbing around on the head there with Eve Marie Saint.
Mm-hmm.
James Mason's chasing them.
And Mason falls to his death, doesn't he?
No, that's Martin Landau.
Ah, okay.
James Mason is the one after they shoot him, or Martin Landau. He says, that wasn't very sporting. Great movie. But you know, they would not let Hitchcock film on the mountain.
Yeah.
That was off limits. Off limits. They wouldn't let him film in front of the United Nations, but he had a hidden camera in a bakery truck across the street, and they did it anyway. So
you find ways to make it happen.
Yeah.
You do. I saw a photo over the weekend, I think it was, of what Mount Rushmore looked like before they did the construction or the sculpting to it. And it looked almost as if it was just waiting to be brought forth.
Yeah.
And maybe that's because I had seen the finished product.
Now, where's Chief Crazy Horse's sculpture? It's in a mountainside somewhere.
That I can't remember.
I know if that's out that way.
They had started working on it. They got stopped on it, and I think they reinstituted the construction on it. But I, for the life of me, I can't remember where it's at.
There was actually supposed to be more of Mount Rushmore. I think they were supposed to have like a museum behind it, but they ran out of money. So they didn't even get to completely finish the faces.
It's also in South Dakota.
Okay.
Crazy Horse, South Dakota. Imagine that.
Imagine that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And tomorrow, on this date in history, we're going to stick with a Native American theme. Tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Let me jump to a radio moment here. We actually came up with something while the show was going on. And this is a hearkening back to the Cincinnati Reds, who are not involved right now with the playoffs.
Oh, sure. Bring that back up.
However, this was when Dusty Baker was last in Chillicothe that we know of. So left to right there, from the left part of your screen. In the front row there, you see Vanessa George, and there's Cody.
Cody Dowdy.
Still alive.
Kobe.
Did I say Cody?
Yeah,
Kobe
Kobe.
Dowdy. Then there's yours truly and Christina Wolford. In that back row, that's Joe Zierhusen. Joe Zierhusen, who is he did his last home game here not long ago. He was also director of broadcasting. He's battled cancer and came back from that and did a fantastic job. Can't remember the young man's name. Last name is Wood.
I can't.
Was it Travis Wood?
Maybe?
He was one of the starting pitchers for the.
Okay. Was he with Chicago for a while too?
After his days in Cincinnati, he went on to Chicago. And then there's that. Look at the head of hair on Mike Smith.
Look at that. That was back in my playing days.
And right behind him, the Todd father.
Yeah, Todd Frazier.
Todd Frazier. Was that his rookie year? Must have been his rookie year.
I was thinking his rookie year was the year out at the bowling alley. Because we were sitting on the stools, I thought, when we did the interview, because that's where he told me about Tom's River.
I was thinking that was because he talked about Tom's River in studio with us. I remember that.
Because some of these guys came. Brandon Phillips was there.
Oh yeah, he was
three or
there
four times.
Yeah, 3 times. But then Dusty Baker, of course, and Chris Welsh is.
Look how young Chris looks. I mean, not Christina, but Chris. Chris Welsh. Not that you don't look young, Christina. I meant Chris Welsh. I better shut up. I can't get my way out of that one.
Walked right into that one, didn't you?
Christina, you always look young. Yeah.
Indeed. All right, that's it for the program today, and I can't think of anything else to share with you. Oh, I take that back.
You have a show this afternoon?
Dance for Kids' Sake. We'll be talking with Aaron Alsop from Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Ohio and some of those participants in Dance for Kids' Sake, which is coming up on October 14th. I got fitted for my tuxes yesterday. The tux for Dance for Kids' Sake, and then the tux for the Fall Festival of Leaves pageant out at Bainbridge.
You get one with tails?
I can't remember if I've had one. I don't think I've had one with tails. The one where when I got married,
yeah,
I had tails.
Okay. I was going to say, if you get one with tails, just get some Groucho Marx glasses and walk around kind of goofy.
Put some electric tape across my nose.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's coming up. This is the busy month that I have with doing extra stuff.
October, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm still in November.
And tomorrow,
last year.
Tomorrow night is the Foothill International fundraiser that I'll be emceeing at the Postmark. So that's going on. You can still hear an interview with both of the guests who were here to talk about Foothold International, Brad and Sherry Catron. That's on our YouTube channel, but it's also rotating with other interviews on Litter Media Radio, which you can always find by going to our website, littermedia.com, and up at the top you'll see where it says Litter Media Radio.
You're almost as busy as Ryan Seacrest. I bet you get about as much money as Ryan Seacrest.
There was a point in time when we tried to remember that they billed me as Chillicothe's Ryan Seacrest. Yeah.
Just the money wasn't there, yeah. Right.
And when Pat Sajak announced his retirement, I jumped right on Facebook and I said, there's no truth to the rumor that I am going to be hosting that show. I'll let Ryan Seacrest do it. I'm busy enough.
I haven't heard yet whether Vanna's going to be on that show with him. Have you?
I have not heard. I believe she is going to. She's not on the shows that are airing this week because she tested positive for COVID.
Oh, my.
And so we're seeing shows that were taped like a month ago, I think. And it's National Teacher Week, and they've selected the Teacher of the Year in the state of California, and she's filling in for Vanna.
How about that?
Touching the letters and smiling, walking back and forth.
That ought to be good. That was probably more difficult than we can imagine.
I don't know how she knows which one to touch first, or where to stop and hit those. She must be seeing it on a screen at the other end that the contestants cannot see. We'll have to have Jeff Ragland in here one of these days.
He was on that show.
He was on Wheel of Fortune, and he might be able to give us some inside information. I know that Aaron Glandon and I were talking last week about him being at Jeopardy for a taping of the Jeopardy program, and we discussed how they can see the responses, and I'm thinking I don't know if I would be able to read all that way across there. But there's a bigger screen that they show those on. Yeah. So behind the scenes information for you there. Yeah. All right, that's it for the program. So we will have one this afternoon about 1 o'clock here on Literate Media Live on our Facebook page. But then we're back at it again tomorrow with another edition right here on Facebook Live.